Three humanitarian organizations have warned that Sudan is on the brink of a starvation crisis of historic proportions, criticizing the international community for failing to adequately address the severe hunger crisis.
국제구호기관 세계단체는 현재 수단이 역사상 전례 없는 수준의 아사 위기에 직면했다고 경고하면서 국제사회가 이런 심각한 기아 위기에 적절히 대처하지 못하고 있다고 비판했습니다. Let's talk about Sudan.
So according to these, we mentioned in the headline, three humanitarian organizations. That's the Norwegian Refugee Council, the Danish Refugee Council, and the Mercy Corps. They released a joint statement on Tuesday, and they said the international community is failing to address the immense hunger. They mentioned that more than 25 million people, which is more than half of the population of Sudan, are suffering acute food insecurity. Many families for months have been reduced to one meal a day and have even been forced to eat leaves or insects, these agencies said. They mentioned that international attention and action have amounted to too little too late. And they said the response plan, the humanitarian response plan, is currently only 41% funded. So they mentioned that pressure must be applied to ensure that humanitarian aid can flow into these regions or people will die. And there's two rival generals that have been locked in this brutal power struggle in Sudan since April of 2023. And this fighting has displaced more than 10 million people and killed thousands.
When you say people have been displaced, that means they are no longer able to go to their homes.
Forced to leave.
Yeah, they had to leave their homes. Right, so we're looking at Sudan, which is on the brink of a starvation crisis.
So on the brink of something is very close to it. Usually it's used for bad things, like on the brink of war.
Right.
Perhaps you could say like, oh, I'm on the brink of a promotion at work, but that you don't really hear people say that very often.
Yeah, there is that negative connotation.
Yeah,
isn't
usually
there?
like, a company or an economy might be on the brink of collapse, or a company can be on the brink of bankruptcy, it's about to happen.
bankruptcy는 파산이죠. 그리고 collapse도 역시 무너지는 것인데 이렇게 보통은 안 좋은 일이 일어나기 직전에 쓸 수 있는 표현이 A is on the brink of B. A는 지금 B가 되기 일보 직전이다. 안 좋은 상황에 대해서 보통 많이 씁니다. 자, 그 다음에는요. adequately.
Adequately means sufficiently.
Yeah.
So if something has been done adequately, then the basic requirements have been fulfilled. Doesn't necessarily always mean perfect or amazing, but it's adequate. It's good enough.
적절하다, 적절하게 뭐뭐뭐 할 때 adequately 라는 부사를 쓸 수 있고요. 뒤에 나와 있는 address라는 것은 여기서는 대처한다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. 그래서 적절히 대처를 해야 되는데 지금 그렇게 안 되고 있다라는 뜻이 되겠죠. 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Three humanitarian organizations have warned that Sudan is on the brink of a starvation crisis of historic proportions, criticizing the international community for failing to adequately address the severe hunger crisis. Let's move on to the next headline.
A recent expedition by a deep-sea mapping company has discovered that a significant portion of the Titanic's railing has collapsed and now rests on the ocean floor.
한 심해 지도 제작 업체가 진행한 최근 탐사에서 타이타닉호 난간의 상당 부분이 무너져 해저에 가라앉은 것이 발견됐습니다. Tell us more.
Well, this railing, which was pretty much immortalized in the famous movie scene where Jack and Rose are, what do they say? What is
I'm the king of the world.
I'm the king of the world, right, exactly. I knew it was something like that. So it's been discovered during a series of dives by underwater robots this summer that the wreck, it's changing actually. So a part of this railing has now fallen off. They say the section of railing is about 4.5 meters long, and they think it fell off at some point over the last 2 years.
이 레일링이라는 게 난간이 되겠고요. 그 영화 속에서 디카프리오가 이렇게 난간 앞쪽에 그걸 잡고 그다음에 손 이렇게 탁 펼치면서 I'm the king of the world라고 했던 그 장면을 떠올리시면 될 것 같은데 그 레일링인가 봐요. 그게 이제 떨어져 나간 것이 발견이 됐고 이게 최근이 아니라 아마 한 2년 전쯤에 떨어져 나갔을 것이다. 그러니까 2년 전부터 지금까지 그 정확한 시점은 알 수 없지만 요 사이에 떨어져 나간 것으로 그렇게 지금 추정이 되고 있는 거고요. 그렇다면 어디 갔느냐? 뭐 해저로 지금 내려가 있을 것이다 라는 얘기가 되겠습니다. Is that also where Rose and what's his name? They hugged.
Oh, I thought you were going to say where they're lying at the bottom of the ocean. I was going to say, Sue, they're not real people. That's Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
They're perfectly fine.
Right, there you go. But then you know where they have that hugging scene
Okay.
in the movie. I think that's also at that railing. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly,
it's
but I think that's
possible.
where it was. Yeah.
Yes,
All
could
right.
be.
Well,
But
this
again,
is-
those
yeah.
aren't real people.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
just
it's
the
a
movies.
movie.
Yeah, I know it's your favorite movie. I know you. As soon as I saw this article, I'm like, Sue's going to talk about the movie. It's
Yeah.
it's like your birthday. You get to talk about that movie.
Well, of course, it was quite dramatized, but as we know, it's based on a true story. And there
Yeah.
were some really, really factual things put in the movie as
sure.
well.
Yeah, I guess like we shouldn't really joke about it because 1,500 people died during
Yes.
that, and that was back
huge
in
tragedy.
1912, April of 1912, and the
Yep.
Titanic now lies 3,800 meters under the ocean.
Okay. Well, the latest discovery was made by an expedition.
When we talk about expedition, it's a journey, but it's a serious journey, and there's often a very specific purpose, and many people go. They usually have lots of equipment with them.
Yep.
And a lot of times expeditions can be dangerous.
Of
So
course.
you're going into the rainforest, you're going up Mount Everest, or you're going to the Arctic or Antarctica, for example. And usually for some type of research. So there's some purpose for it. It's
맞습니다.
not just for fun.
여기서 말하는 expedition은 이 탐험대를 말하고 있어요. 그래가지고 뭐 탐험이라는 그런 명사이기도 한데 그런 탐험대 그 팀이 알아낸 사실이다라는 뜻으로 지금 쓰고 있고 그 다음에는 그 난간의 상당 부분이 떨어져 나갔다라고 할 때 상당 부분 significant portion 보겠습니다.
That means a large amount or a large piece of something. So significant means a lot.
Yeah, exactly. significant가 굉장히 중요하다는 뜻도 있거든요. 그래서 significant portion 그러면은 상당히 중요한 비중을 차지하는 부분이니까 큰 부분이고요. My significant other 하면은 나한테 굉장히 중요한 내 인생의 또 다른 사람. 그러니까 이제 보통 남편이나 아내에 대해서 이렇게 얘기를 합니다. 자, 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. A recent expedition by a deep sea mapping company has discovered that a significant portion of the Titanic's railing has collapsed and now rests on the ocean floor. Let's move on to our final headline.
An unusual warming event has been observed in the stratosphere above Antarctica, leading to significant temperature fluctuations between July and August.
남극 성층권에서 이례적인 온난화 현상이 관측돼 7월과 8월 사이 큰 폭의 기온 변동이 있었음이 확인됐습니다. Alright, let's talk more about this.
Yeah, well, July temperatures in the stratosphere above Antarctica, they're typically around minus 80 degrees Celsius. And we should mention this is their winter time. I looked it up. So Antarctica, winter is March to October. Typically around minus 80 degrees Celsius, but on July 7th, temperatures in the middle of the stratosphere jumped up 15 degrees Celsius, which is not very common. It then cooled off, but then temperatures jumped again at the beginning of August. In this point they went up 17 degrees Celsius. So. Now, they call these things sudden stratospheric warming or SSW events. And in the Arctic, this is far more common. This happens once a year or once every 2 years, but this polar vortex in the southern hemisphere is typically much less active. So these sudden warming events, they only happen in the Antarctica once every 5 years, roughly. So scientists are trying to figure out why this happened. They don't fully know why.
Exactly. First of all, Antarctica is another word for South Pole.
Right.
And so the Arctic would be the North Pole.
Right. You got Santa up north and the
Yeah.
penguins down south.
And Pengsu as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Pengsu's from Antarctica,
Oh,
I
yeah, that
believe.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. 자, 그래서 이제 남극, 북극. 쉽게 말하면 South Pole, North Pole이지만 이제 그렇게 말하기도 하고요. 이제 원래 정식 명칭은 Antarctica 하고 Arctic가 되겠습니다. 그래서 지금 남극 얘기를 하고 있는데 이 안타르티카의 보통 3월에서 10월 사이의 평균 기온이 영하 80도씨라고 하는데요. 그리고 변동이 많이 없어야 된대요. 그렇지만 지난 7월 달에는 이 마이너스 80도에서 한 15도가량 올라갔고 물론 그래도 굉장히 춥지만 근데 이렇게까지 큰 온도차로 기온이 변동이 되는 것 자체가 좀 이례적이라고 합니다. 8월에도 마찬가지로 한 17도 정도가 이렇게 올라가서 이게 좀 문제가 아닐까 살펴보고 있는 그런 상황인 거죠. 자, 이렇게 관측이 됐습니다. This was observed.
When you observe something, you see it, you notice it, you witness it.
Yep.
And a lot of times when we talk about scientists, they observe things. They're running experiments or they're trying to see, notice changes in something. So they realize that this is something that's happening.
그렇습니다. 관찰하는 것을 observe 한다고 하고요. stratosphere는 성층권이고 fluctuation은요?
Fluctuations, yeah, as you're kind of doing there when things change, right? And it's frequent. It's not just one change, it's frequent changes. Things go up and down. So temperatures fluctuate,
Stock
prices fluctuate, people's moods fluctuate.
yes. 그러네요. 오르락 내리락 하는 게 있으면 fluctuate 한다라고 하고요. 그 명사 형태가 fluctuation입니다. 지금 얘기한 것들. 주가가 이렇게 올라갔다 내려갔다 하기도 하고 사람 기분이 올라갔다 내려갔다 하기도 하고 그래서 다 fluctuate 한다라는 동사로 표현을 할 수가 있고요. 여기서 말하는 거는 temperature fluctuation입니다. 기온의 심각한 변동이 되겠죠. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. An unusual warming event has been observed in the stratosphere above Antarctica, leading to significant temperature fluctuations between July and August. And that's it for our headlines with Ray.